Welcome back, and today I'm going to share with you some scrappy collages because, as you know, like to work with scraps. Like to work with collage, and I just like to play. So a lot of you ask me, how do you get your inspiration? Well, actually, just by doing. So I want to show you a few of them that are in this journal. Maybe I have some others lying here, and I just want to show you a few things I did. I love doing them in a journal because there's no pressure at all. And this art creation by Talents is perfect for it because the strength of the paper is really good. It's 140 GSM, so it's flexible enough, but it's strong enough to like add the glue. And the binding is strong enough if you want to put a lot of them in here. So these are just, I love these kind of journals. I'm going to show you a few things. Let me see. Okay. Let me show you these two. And these two, this is when I started getting back into the grit art because I used to do it a lot, but then I stopped for some reason. And making grits I love doing that because then you have like a small rectangle or square or something, small space. So it's going to be small artwork. And since you fit like 8 of them on a page, I can have like 8 options to make something I like. And it doesn't matter if one of them isn't really good enough, or 2 or 3 or 4. There's always one of them that I like. So this is my playground. Sketchbook is a playground anyway. And with this, I just grabbed some scraps from magazines. You can see it over here. Just my own collage papers. And this is actually a cutout from my daughter. So this came from my daughter's junk. This is just from the recycling bin. And I decided to do with this one and this one. These are scribbles from my daughter. Just decided to go with one color scheme because I like to have like some kind of boundaries to work within. When I have too many choices, I just go blank. So I decided to just grab the scraps, and I'm not going to cut them into the size that I want to, use them as they are. And that's why I have those little perfect circles here. But when I'm almost finishing up and think it still needs something, I was allowed just to tear them up just a bit and make, for example, a little red thing over here, or this one to balance it more out. But this is a calendar actually. Everything would go. And are they perfect? Are they lovely? Well, most of them aren't. Some of them I like. And why do I like them? Because I had a difference in, for example, dark and light, or I had a difference in shape. This was a round shape, and this is more a rectangular shape. I had a variety in thin lines and in thicker lines, and a large object or just a small object. And those differences make it interesting to look at them. Those are like rules you can apply for all your art. I actually made a class on it. It's rules of abstract art, but you can use them when you make landscapes too. They're on Skillshare, and I'll just put the link down below. And these two are actually made in maybe 20 minutes each. So I like to do this process. Maybe I'll guide you through the process one day. And then I have a few over here and decided to do almost a monochromatic color scheme again, and with scraps. These two I made for the 100-day challenge, and there are more in here, but this was the 100-day challenge, which I didn't complete, by the way. This one I started gluing them on with matte medium, and I have a top layer of matte medium too. And I was struggling with these. They're more like the mid tones, and there was not much difference, and was just working for me. And I got on layers and layers and layers. And it was the pressure of making a video because I was filming the process. I just put it on Instagram, and it was just not working. I was struggling. But the next day, I decided to do the struggle again. But I did a glue stick, so I didn't have to wait for it to dry, or when it was too wet. If I put it on, I could move it around, and still had to be quick. I was not thinking about it, Maybe if I want to have the large piece here or the large piece there, I did a little bit of the composition wise, but the only rule I had, if I use a piece here, I'm going to use a piece here as well. And this is from the yellow pages. The yellow pages are here, over here, and here, here as well. So that's why they like our series. Still, I'm not really convinced yet, but this was just a way for me to play and to feel if the composition was going to work for me. And these are my scraps. I have too many scraps. I love scraps. That's why I keep them all the time. And this is a monochromatic color scheme as well. Just only the red is in here, but I think putting this blue with red lines actually make it more interesting. So that's why I decided to put them in here. And this one is getting better. These were just rubbish. I think over here it's getting better. The colors are better. They're more balanced out for some reason. So yeah, I started to like these ones. And again, it's from magazines, packaging paper, some tissue paper that was from a gift, I think. My jelly prints. This one I want to have it more neutral. Actually the same process. And this one I struggled again because I decided on a color scheme that the colors that really matched, but they matched too much. So there were just flats and then there were too many. It's just too busy. It was just, I wasn't feeling it. Added those stars to make them more like unified or something, but still, something happened. Here's a red one. And this one I did more the black and white because I was struggling more with the tints and the tones and the lights and the darks and the medium colors. So that's why I started to do the black and white, so you could really see the difference. If you want to see the difference and you don't work with black and white, you work with color, for example. And this was just play, but if you're not playing and you want to see the real result, just make a picture with your camera and then go to settings and put it into black and white or mono, and you will see exactly where the dark and the light and the medium spots are, so you know you have enough variety to make it look interesting. If they're all flat and medium, you know you have to add some spark of light or just a dash of black to make it more appealing to the viewer. And this because neon pink always works for some reason. With me, neon pink is, yeah, it's my jam. It works, so yeah. And this was actually an old artwork, flowers that I did in ink and I didn't like, so I tore them up and put them in here. And I finally got the hang of it, and that's when I stopped the challenge, or at least these 10 days of doing this. They're like a Christmassy, but not really. This is the inside of a bank envelope, for example. This is a dictionary. So yeah, I just thought it was fun exploring and seeing what happens and what layers can do, because this is a cutout. But what if I put different layers underneath? What will work? What would it do? Would it? Yeah. So these are a few, I think. Oh, I have multiple in here. These I like. These two I really like because I was doing a circle project, so I had a punch and I punched through the circles in different shapes. I started to put the colors together. This was just the red, the orange, the yellow, the warmer colors. And yeah, the layering, I really like doing it. And just to give it a spark and just to be a little bit different, I just added a green one. And this was really fun to do. And really quick too. And here I decided just to go with the pink, the green, and the yellow. And to spice it up a bit, I just put down a bit of orange. This one didn't really needed it, but yeah, this was me figuring it out. And the other scraps, what if I change the shapes? So here was just the ones that from the punch, and this was like, yeah, some other scraps. If I just cut them out, it would be a different shape? Would the composition be better? So this is me learning through my scraps. This is more the artistic vibe thing. So these are scraps and they are collages, but it's not the grid art, it's more the artistic ones. And I like these because this is really, I was into the flow, into the motion, and yeah, no rules. I actually enjoyed making those too. And sometimes if I feel really good, they work out really great. If I feel horrible, they just don't. So this is just depends on my mood if I can make these kind of things. But you don't always have to be artistic. Go over here. Yes, over here I try to for some reason. These are scraps from the magazine. But I really try to balance them out, make something of it. It's like something like a bird, and these are, I think they're skyscrapers. So I really made something of this. This is a really old one, but I like the vibe. These are from magazines, and I kept it really clean. But you don't always have to. You can always play like I did with the grid. Or this is an example too. And this was just a picture. And I just cut it in 6 and just rearranged the squares, put them back together, and they were done. And actually it was fun. And then I was like, yeah, what if I add just one spot of fun to it, an extra spot, and I just put down this red dot just to make it more appealing. And that's it. You don't have to be really artsy fartsy. Just play with your scraps and make something of it. If you just, I have some lying around here. What if I just start stacking them, start building them? Am I going to use the whole? Am I just going to use a part of it? Is it going to on top? Is it going underneath? And now I'm just trying to make a composition, but you don't have to. You can, that's what I did with the grids. I just started gluing it down. So there's no thinking about it, and just gluing and gluing and gluing and see what happens. And you make the larger shapes, or you make some smaller shapes, and then you start just shifting and playing. So I hope you are going to play too. Make some beautiful marks, beautiful collages, and I can't wait to see them. Please share them on Instagram, for example. Tag me so I can see them. Comment on this video and tell me what you thought of it. And of course, if you like to have more creative inspiration, just follow me here. Just subscribe to this channel and you get notified when there's a new video coming your way. For now, happy creating!